Welcome to Unapologetically Significant. We're your hosts,
Shelly Murray.
and Rich. Hope you guys are doing well. Glad you're tuning in for another episode to be enlightened, to be just inspired.
Inspired,
Ooh,
definitely.
inspired. I like that word. I wonder where that word came.
We're gonna have to research that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely inspired.
And that's something you don't hear often. You know, you just don't hear that word often.
Mhm.
But I like it. Inspired. It just seems like it's rich and deep and just meaningful. But that's not why you're here.
It's not. But let me just say, we need to have a conversation about like the difference between being inspired and being motivated.
Ooh.
Okay, because those are two categories that we kind of play with a lot. I think, for me, the difference, and I know that's not what y'all came for, but we're just having a true, authentic conversation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking motivation is definitely like you rooting me on and championing me and giving it a good college try and you supporting my ideas. And inspiration is deep-seated within you to inspire you to do something from the inside.
I would agree with that. Because no one can really inspire you.
No.
You have to inspire yourself. And like she said, it's got to come from within. You look at sports teams and, everybody, coach and all these folks trying to motivate people. And, how far does that really go? I don't think it goes really that far. Because if that fire is not inside, I can put some leaves over you and burn them, but that's not really the fire. So it's got to come from within. So I think I agree.
Yeah.
Inspires from within.
Yeah.
Motivation is an external kind of thing. And put together,
Now you got it. Now you're working with. Now you're cooking with gas.
That's right. That's right. Otherwise, you're like a three-legged dog. Okay, now they get by.
Yeah, they do. They're kind of cute too, but in an ET kind of way. No disrespect to the people with three-legged dogs. Just saying.
I got one over there. What are you talking about? Oh, he down to 2 legs.
Yeah, he down to 2 legs.
He wasn't very inspirational.
You gotta get together. Okay, but this is not why you guys came. If you want to hear more about the difference between or how we can deal with or work with inspiration versus motivation, drop something in chat and maybe we'll have an actual full episode about that. But we're gonna get back on topic. We digress. Sorry about that.
Maybe we'll do that every week.
Yeah, you're welcome. Whichever one.
So we today.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Here and now. What are we talking about? Oh, you taking a sip. Caught you. No, this is all natural, by the way. This is not induced, okay? Yeah. We just like to have fun and be ourselves. But what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the pharmaceutical industry, which is crazy because I'm wearing a pharmacy shirt. Like I'm your local pharmacist. That's what I go by. But mine is juices and berries and kale. Okay, we're talking about when you go through the drive-through, it's pick up your medication. That's what we're going to be discussing today. Yeah. With Rich's background as a chemical engineer, he's the perfect person to have this transparent conversation. And we're going to jump into it.
Yes. So, the stats around prescription, they're pretty astonishing. And we'll get into that in a bit. But I like to start back at the beginning. Why are you getting a prescription? And you may think, oh, well, that's, of course, duh. You got something wrong, you're sick, you're not feeling well. And my response to that is, why are you getting a prescription? Because there's options out there. And I know that's kind of the norm. You go there and you get a prescription and hopefully in a few days, a week, whatever, you're feeling better. But I challenge you to pause and think about why you're getting a prescription when there's other options out there. And after you're done taking it, what has it really done to you? I challenge you to think about those things.
And then not only that, but we usually, when you're on some type of prescription or antibiotic, things like that, there's the post-prescription protocol that you need to do
Mm-hmm.
to take care of the damage that it did on some other things. Not saying all, again, I don't have a PhD. I speak from experience and I read a lot of books.
You mean that's from that song "Rescue Me"?
Yeah, rescue me. Yes, yes.
Because that's basically what you got to do to rescue yourself once you get done with that stuff. But really want to dive into, kind of the, I don't know, you call it the psyche of prescriptions and why people take them and why people get addicted to them and all that stuff. Because when you look at prescriptions, so, what are the options? Number one, let's just start there. What are
Okay.
the options? So if you don't take a prescription, you can take some herbs.
There's herbs.
Okay. There's herbs you can take. There's different types of food, juices, what have you can take. There are whole food supplements you can take, all in a total separate category than prescription.
Mhm.
Um, so, when I think I know it's a thing of education because people don't really know how things work.
No, like
And
when I go to pick up a prescription, it's not often, but every once in a while I have to go or one of the kids needs something. They always say, "Do you want the pharmacist to talk to you about this medication?" And I'm like, I probably am the only one that says, "Yeah, I do. Bring him out." And they always look at me like, doggone it. She wants to know something because I
hmm
really do. And then he gives me all of these lists of things that could
hmm
possibly happen or that I need to watch out for or not do while I'm taking this. Like,
hmm
it's a lot of information. Like, I don't know how many people are actually reading that little Bible that they
nobody,
give you.
nobody
Um,
reads that thing.
it's literally like 6 or 7 pages.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like font 3.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
Right.
words. Like, how
Yeah.
many of us
Big
are
words.
yeah, that we have to Google. But like, are we really reading those? So it's like not only about why are you taking this medication? Like, is there an alternative for you? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't.
hmm
But let's say there isn't. Like, what can we do? Or what can we do? Like, what should we do when we go to the pharmacist and they hand us this medication? What are a few of the things we should be doing?
Well, hopefully you don't have to do that. But if you do have to do that and go to the pharmacist, I say the key things to look at are probably the top 4 or 5 side effects. Because most of the time you're going to see in that top 5 gastrointestinal issues,
Mm,
whether it's nausea, you may have some loose bowels, you may be constipated, upset stomach, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of those medicines are blasting your whole digestive system. And you're going to need to recover from that. So if that is one of the things you see in that top 5 or 6, you need to you know that once you're done, you're gonna have to put your gut back together.
mm,
Okay, now how do I put my gut back together? Well, you're gonna need some probiotics in there to feed it and try and get it healthy again. You're gonna need to eat properly,
mhm,
the right types of foods to put in there to help build your system back up. Okay. So if you absolutely have to do that, you got to always be thinking, how do I counterbalance what's being done? A lot of people get antibiotics.
yeah. Oh,
Antibiotics kill everything, good,
that's
bad,
yeah.
bacteria.
That's what it's designed to do. Is
Yep,
to kill off whatever infection or bacteria, whatever's going on with your body.
yep,
That's what it's for. Good or bad, it doesn't
yep,
care. It's like, you gotta go.
yep.
Everybody gotta go. Party's over.
Yeah,
And it does a really good job at it.
yeah, it does. And then it leaves you. Now your house a mess. You got stuff all over the place.
Yep.
Nobody help you
Red
clean
Solo
up.
cups everywhere.
Yep, 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 yep. So now you have to put your gut biome back together.
Mm,
That's a very important thing. That's what keeps us sticky. And yet we just destroyed it with antibiotics.
mm,
And there are other things that you can take, but we'll get there a little bit later. So I think having the mindset that I'm going to need to recover from this, from the medication, okay? You already hopefully recovered from whatever illness you had, but you're going to need to recover from the medication also. And that's all types of
mhm.
medication, not just
Okay.
antibiotics. Because when you understand how prescription drugs work, and let's say prescription drugs versus herbs. Okay. So what's the big difference in the two? Yeah, herbs, and you hear a lot of people, oh, herbs don't work and they don't this and they don't that. But I know if I take a prescription,
Yeah.
that boom, it's going to knock it out. Well, that's because it's designed to do that. It's designed to force your body to do what that prescription drug wants you to do. So it's going to force your body.
Yeah.
Herbs are going to work with your body. They're going to be like that, kind of that side friend there that's helping you do whatever. Okay. Whereas, you know, drugs, they're just going to force it. So if your body wants to go left and you take a certain drug that says, hey, you really need to be going right, it's going to wrench that thing and make it go right. Well, that's going to cause problems in the body
Right.
that you're going to need to deal with afterwards. Okay. So, big dot deal. When you look at herbs, again, another thing with herbs, you got to build up to them because they're not forcing you.
Right.
It may take 60 days to get a sufficient amount of an herb in you to help with your condition.
And let's just be honest, we're not
Yeah.
patient
Oh, no,
people.
we're not patient.
We want
60
it to be
days.
done. But this is, I'm kind of segueing a little bit, but this is why it's so important to keep certain things in your body at all times. It's preventative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then when you do go down, it's happened, it's life, that
Right.
it doesn't last as long and it's not as hard. And then the recovery period isn't so hard because these herbs are in your system already,
Right.
or vitamins are in your system already. Like a lot of folks are depleted vitamin C, vitamin D, B, like just things that we should have natively, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in this position of when we get sick, we're taking the pharmaceutical or the medication, and then everything goes to hell in a handbasket. No, you get over your illness, right? You get over it,
You get over the illness,
the illness.
but do you get over the damage
No.
that the drugs did
Mhm.
to you?
Yeah. Or do you say, hey, I can't go out with you this weekend. I'm going to take this week of antibiotics and then I'm going to be back on the party train.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you're making up for lost time in the party scene,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you're not repairing the system the damage that it's done.
Yeah.
So, not to be Debbie Downer or like, I don't know. It's just, we're just kind of bringing you up to speed, like the educational piece of it.
Yeah.
We want
Yeah.
you to know. So if you intentionally decide to do something, that's when you make a very adult decision of like, hey, no, I am going to get on the party train next week, although,
Yeah. Yeah.
my digestive system was shot to hell because the antibiotics killed off everything.
Right. Right.
Then that's a different conversation we need to have, but it's a choice. You
Mm-hmm.
can make a very succinct decision based on what you know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of these facts. You got a couple of these out here.
All right. 65% of adults over 18 are on prescription medication.
Yeah,
65%.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. That is a ton of folks that are on prescription medication.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's like half. Like if we're in a room with 10 people, 6 of us is on medication, and the other percentage probably
mhm.
should be medicated since they're hanging out with sickies. Just saying.
Right, right, right. And of those people, the average, I think, is approximately 4 and a little more prescriptions per person.
Wow.
So 4 things that most people are on, and not just on one thing, because how the prescription drugs work. They go on in there, they're forcing something to happen that really is not ready to happen. So it's interfering with some other process. Now I can
Mhm.
give you a drug for that, so that that other process can do what it needs to do. Then you end up with 4 different medications. One to fix the other one, to fix the other one, to fix the other one, to fix the problem. And that's, to me, that's just ludicrous.
That's insanity.
That's crazy.
There's
That,
got to be a better way.
yeah, and there is. But you got to understand what's going on. And I think part of the problem is when it's unseen, people
Mhm.
have a hard time grasping it,
Mhm.
which is why I think it's important that, we have these talks and just educate people on what's really going on.
Mhm.
And now here's the big one. 69% of all drugs have between 10 and 100 side effects.
Oh my goodness.
100! Oh my God.
So the likelihood that you're going to see a side effect, well, you're going to have a side effect is pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high.
Pretty
Pretty
high.
high.
But then it's identifying that you actually did have a side effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but remember, I just rewind when I was like, I do talk to the pharmacist and tell me what I should be looking out for. There's 100 different things that this dude's got to tell me that possibly I need to look for that
Yep.
could possibly go wrong,
Yep. Yep.
up to and including death. I'm sure is one of
Yep.
them.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
And all of you is just set up watching TV at night, and a
oh,
infomercial comes on about some particular drug, and there's a paragraph down at the bottom that's probably .5 font, so
yep.
you can't really read it at all.
But the speedy Gonzalez goes,
Yeah.
then you can have heart disease, anal leakage, urination problems, stomach hallucinations.
Thoughts of suicide.
Yeah.
You know, all this stuff that they ramble through.
Yeah.
And,
And then you still say, yeah, I think I'm going to
I'm
take
going to ask my doctor about that.
Yeah, I'm going to take that.
Shoot, the thing said I'm going to be smarter. I'm going to take it. Even though I may jump out the window tomorrow,
Yes.
but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you seeing rabbits and Santa Claus. Like the hallucinations are real.
Yep, yep. So, that's the big that deal. And that's something you really need to consider when you're thinking about taking prescription meds.
Mm-hmm.
And with so many people on prescriptions, what does that tell you? People not healthy.
Right.
Not healthy. And if you don't change something, that's how you stay on these things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the last time I had a prescription drug.
I know when I had my surgery last year, October of last year, I had prescription medication and I was under anesthesia, so they get
Mm-hmm.
gassy and you have constipation and all those things. I didn't experience any of that because I think because of everything that I've done prior to that and the lifestyle that I am living. I ain't perfect, y'all. God ain't done with me yet, though. I'm not perfect, but
You're making progress.
yeah, I'm making progress. I think it didn't have a toll on, but I did get Vicodin, muscle
Mm-hmm.
relaxers, and they gave me one for sleep, like just in case, this pain kicks in and you might have to sleep in, and then you need this. They gave me 4.
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 medications,
Wow.
and it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a lot.
Well, I'm going to tell you just a little short story here. And this was 2020, so probably 2020, 2019. I had a doctor I was seeing, for regular checkups and whatnot, because I don't rarely ever get sick. So I go in there one time, and he's telling me, he goes, well, you kind of get up there in age, and you need to take baby aspirin, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, because if you have some sort of incident with your heart, he goes, you're going to be on at least 18 medications for the rest of your life.
Wow.
And when he told me that, I go, do you really believe that? And he's like, yeah. So I fired him on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a whole practice of doctors. I think pick another one for me because this guy,
Yeah.
yeah, he's already tuned in to prescriptions. So 2019. So 2020, I have the heart surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they give me all these medications to take. I think I took them for maybe 2 weeks, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm
Mm-hmm.
done. I'm not taking none of this stuff. And he told me specifically, if you have surgery, you are going to be on 18 drugs. You're going to be on blood thinners. You're going to be on blood pressure medication. We got to do this. We got to do that. That bullshit. I didn't do none of that stuff. I got on a good diet,
Mm-hmm.
started taking my supplements, and I didn't take anything else after that. And to this day, I'm just taking supplements. I'm not on any medication.
Mm-hmm.
No blood pressure, no cholesterol,
Yeah.
none of that stuff. Because I'm taking care of myself.
You are. You're eating well, you're working out, lifting weights, cold plunging, like you're doing all of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing all of the things. And I think if you guys take anything away from today, it's just that it does not have to be that difficult.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more control over your life than you do. Again, there are some situations where you will need some type of medication, right? Or you need a surgeon.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, the quack doctor, or I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
able to fix everything. Sometimes you need
Right.
that. However, it's a maintaining thing.
Yeah.
It's muscle memory. It's the workouts. It's the eating habits. It's the meditation. It's getting rid of the stress and sleep. Because one of the things we haven't even touched on is how our personal lives impact the side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't drink alcohol with this medication. You got to sleep. How are your sleeping habits?
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are rolled into that we just think, oh, I'm going to take this medication. Like, no, 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 no. You have to do all of the things, or at least be aware of what it is
Mm-hmm.
that you're looking for. And I
Yeah.
can say we all have to do a better job at that.
Yeah. Exactly. And on the alcohol point, I can speak of two people that I know. One's on Ozempic, which is just tearing up his liver and a bunch of other things, but put that aside. They also continuing to drink. And that's the number one thing it tells you not to
Not to
do.
do.
Not to do. So what other damage is he causing? Alcohol, we already talked about that, oxidative stress and free radicals, all these things that are bad for you. And you're taking a prescription that has all these side effects and other things. So you got the double whammy here.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even realize what you're
You're
doing.
mixing chemicals.
Yeah.
Let's
Don't
just
do
put
that.
it out in
Don't do that.
very remedial, basic language. You're mixing chemicals.
Yep. That can go bang
Yeah.
inside of you.
Yeah.
And you had no idea. No idea. Then all of a sudden, a few months, a year down the
Or it's
road.
inside doing this. Chip, 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 chip,
Yeah.
chip, 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 chip.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Chip it away.
That's it.
And you don't know it
Tick
until
tock, tick tock, clock's ticking. Something's going to happen.
take
Something's
it,
going
take
to
it, put it
fail.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not putting just like, oh, all these bad things are going to happen to you. It's science, y'all. Open a book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't just take our word for it. Do your research. And I also want to point out to what Rich said earlier. If you don't feel like you're interviewing your doctor, or you're not feeling like you're getting the adequate time in with your doctor, or they're being really like, I don't know, it's okay. You should be able to. You should. I went to the doctor with my daughter, and she saw a nurse practitioner, and a lot of the answers, 3 answers, was like, yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, it should be fine. I'm like, look, Heffa. As soon as we left, I was like, I don't like her. She gotta go. Like, she works for you. He works for you. They work for you. If you trust your gut, if it ain't jacked up from all these dang medications and alcohol, trust your gut, your intuition, and say, okay, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I want to ask these questions, and I don't feel even safe enough to be vulnerable to ask my doctor a question.
Right.
A, man up, ask the damn question.
Yep.
And B, if you're not comfortable and you feel like you're not getting the appropriate amount of time or answers or attention, fire them. Get a new one. I know the insurance world is crazy and you have to get a new one and you got to make an appointment. Look, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is your only life you gonna have on this planet. You might have a secondary, third life, somewhere. But as of right now, this is what you're working with. So do you really want to take those chances?
Right.
Ask the questions. It's okay. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Right.
Like, don't internalize that. I'm speaking from a position where I've had kids since I was 19. I didn't know. I was still a kid having kids. I didn't know. They told me to rub this ointment on my kid. I did it. They told me to get my kid this vaccination. I did it. And now, I have a second set of kids. I'm like, what that fine print say?
Yeah,
Let me take a picture of it and blow it up. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing it. Like, this causes autism? Like, why would I give that to my kid?
Right. Right.
But how many of us are actually doing that? And again, I'm not pissing on the medical Western medicine. I'm just saying fact check it so you can make an educated decision versus just listening to us or listening to someone else.
Right. Right. And, you can always phone a friend. If you got someone that has more courage
Yeah.
and maybe knows a little more, not so much courage, but knows a little bit more, knows what to ask, bring them along. Who says they can't come in the room with you? If you can't go in the room and have some friend come in with you, peace out.
Yeah,
You ain't the person.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
I'm done. So
this is not COVID. Like, there's
right.
no reason why you can't have somebody to go with you.
Exactly. And I mean, you can ask AI. Give me 5 good questions to ask
Yeah.
the doctor. You can put your blood work and put it into AI.
Yeah.
And what questions should I be asking?
Based on this data.
Yeah, and it'll spit out questions for you. So, if you're not if you don't feel comfortable enough doing it, there are resources that you can
Mhm.
use. Okay. But the thing is, you got to take control of your health.
Mhm.
You got to treat it like it's the most valuable thing.
Because it is.
Yeah, it
It's
really
you.
is. Yep, yep, yep. Now those folks are going to go home. Them doctors are going to go home at night, and
Mhm.
then they don't even know who you are.
Yep.
But you got to live with yourself and whatever's going on. So you have every right to ask them as many questions as you want to.
Absolutely. I know my doctors. I've done a lot of research, and I've had my doctor, 2 doctors recently in the last 2 years actually call me, and I'm looking at the phone like, "Hold up. Hmm, hello? Why are you calling me?" It's like, "Oh, I'm just calling to follow up, see how you doing. Just I was just checking in on you." I'm like, "Well, don't you have a nurse or an assistant to do that?" They actually do that,
Yep. Yep.
y'all, because it was 2 people not even affiliated with each other. It happens. Like,
Yep.
know your person. To Richard's point, they're going to go home at the end of the night. But a real good doctor that knows that you have a real situation going on is
Hmm.
thinking about you.
Exactly.
Maybe I'm an anomaly and I have some fabulous doctors and that may not be your experience. However, what should be your experience is you walk away feeling confident and this prescription or this whatever they gave you is truth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a part of that though is you set the intention when you're looking for doctors.
Yep.
You set that intention out there. Hey, I'm gonna find a good one. They're gonna do this and do that, be thorough and blah 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 down the line. Now, how many people do that? Or do you just look on America's top doctors in your
Yeah.
state? No, there's one. I'll go to him because they recommend him. They who?
Yeah, they went to the same college as my daddy did.
Yeah.
So we going like,
Yeah.
what kind
Yeah.
of?
Yeah. It don't work that way. So set that intention out
Yeah,
there. And you know, Western medicine is a very good thing.
amen.
Let me throw that out there because there are times where you're going to need it
Mhm.
and it's going to save your bacon. And if you're here in the United States, it's probably one of the best places, it's not the best place you can be. But that's not for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. If you got something serious, you got some serious infection, you got sepsis going on.
Mhm.
Well, you need some antibiotics like yesterday,
Yeah, we'll
so
deal
you
with.
can be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
So you ain't got time for things to build up in your system. So there are times, more than likely medical emergency times, where they're absolutely fabulous, second to none. But other than that, you get a cold, you get a sore throat, you got this stuff going on. Don't be running getting prescriptions. Lord knows, don't go to the drugstores and get some over the counter stuff.
yeah,
Oh my God, that may be worse than a
yeah,
prescription. No,
yeah,
but
yeah,
close,
yeah.
close.
I mean, and it goes back to fasting water.
Hmm.
What we talked about on last episode. If you haven't seen it, go click back once
Yeah.
and watch that. But it really is the totality of all of it. You have to consider all of it. Western medicine, great thing. You're gonna
Hmm.
need it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you won't, but I
Yeah.
mean, if you're gonna live to be whatever, to 100, there's gonna be a situation where you're gonna need it, and that's fine. But you just need to know
Hmm.
that A, you have options. B, do you research it or read or have somebody else read it, throw it into AI, have them give you a breakdown of the key points, takeaways, and then ask, what questions should I ask my doctor, my pediatrician, my gynecologist, like whoever it is, so you can be well informed.
Yep.
I think we live in an age where we're just like, he's got a PhD, I'm going to trust it, or she does
Hmm.
this, I'm going to trust it. They got as many problems, if not more, than you do.
That's right.
I'm just saying,
And
they're
you
people.
you can mail in and request a PhD. You can get a certificate there.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? You ever question the doctor
I
on
want to
that?
know.
Yeah, that's
I'm that person. Like, look, I got my degrees later in life. I had a family, I had a house, I had a dog, I had all these things. So I was I was a very curious student. I didn't have I wish I would have done it a lot younger, but I question it. Like, I know how hard it was for me and what my GPA is. I want to know what their GPA is. Like,
Mhm.
am I getting this, D doctor? You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect, doc, but nah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
no,
Yep. Yep.
no, no. I wanna know. Like, it's not just about, you know, what their GPA is or what school they went to. Like, did you actually learn
Right.
something? What did you do for the community?
Yeah.
What outreach programs? Like, I don't the just having a degree
Yeah.
ain't gonna cut it.
Uh,
I have a stethoscope at home and a blood pressure cuff, blood pressure cuff at home. Like, I play a doctor on TV, so I know what it looks like.
yeah.
I need someone that actually cares. I
And a couple of things that I always want to find out. Number one, I want to find out how often do you go back and take
Ooh,
classes? How often do you do that? Or did you graduate 20 years ago and you haven't
that
set
was done.
foot in school since then? So that means you got old stuff, old ways of thinking, and I'm not into that. So, are you doing that? Number one, how much research do you do on
Mhm.
things? How much time do you spend researching things, say on a monthly basis? And if I don't get a fair amount of time, no, I'm already checked
Yeah,
out.
same.
And probably so you've got the research. I would also ask him, what is your opinion on holistic health? Because if you're not saying that that's an option,
Yeah.
deuces, I'm done with you.
Mhm.
Because I know you're gonna push me into prescription drugs,
Mhm.
and
And it's gonna
that's not
be
the
till
thing.
forever.
So I want to know how you think. Did you even, and if you did, if you do believe in holistic medicine, what options are you giving me?
Mhm.
I didn't hear any options.
Mhm.
All I heard was, I'm writing a script for you. You go, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
Oh, you mean I could take some berberine because, my A1C is a little high? I could take some berberine. I can get that down.
Mhm.
All natural herb works. They covered that up pretty good a few years ago because it
Mhm.
was working. It was
Working too well.
too well, too well. But I want a doctor that's going to do that.
Mhm.
And if you're not going to do that and suggest alternatives, keep looking,
Mhm.
keep looking.
If that's what you're into. And if you're
Yeah.
not into the holistic side, I don't know what you're doing on this channel, but you're welcome. Welcome. Come on in. Then you at least need to understand what you need. You need they say come back and follow up in a week, follow up in that week, and then
Hmm.
ask them what you need to do from that point to make sure this situation is done,
Hmm.
and eradicated. And then how do you move forward? Like, ask those questions.
Yeah.
Ask about nutrition. They should be able to provide that information. And if they can't do that, that's a red flag. You need to
Yep.
listen to your spidey senses and then figure out something else. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And this stuff, like she said, we don't know where you're at on the scale of what, holistic or not holistic, partially or whatnot. But you got to continually do your research.
hmm
And, one of the reasons that, I am so passionate about it, because I know it works.
yeah, we've seen it
We've seen it works.
with ourselves.
Valley fever and
hmm
pneumonia at the same time. Not a lot of people survived it. Kicked its ass. Took 3 different herbs. Done.
hmm
What else I have? Prostate cancer. Zapped me for 9 weeks. I go, okay, your job is done. Now my job is to put
hmm
myself back together. No prescription drugs. None of that crap. All herbs and great diet. Cancer. I had cancer. I had the heart. Okay. 99% block. Should have been dead, but I was still alive. They did their thing. I go, okay, you did your thing. Now I'm gonna do my thing.
hmm
No drugs. I'm not on any drugs. Feel great. So I know it can be done, but you just got to have the knowledge. You got to have some faith. You have a little
Faith,
bit of courage to step out there and say,
a lot
okay,
of courage.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of courage because your friends and family that are not necessarily done the research that you've done are going to poo poo all over it, I'm sure. Hopefully they won't, but
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of folks are like, mm-mm, baby, you need that.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yep,
okay,
yep, yep,
but
yep.
try something else. It's hard being vulnerable, right? And
Hmm.
just, you know, going out, I don't want to even call it a limb, just going out and trying something different that's not the standard traditional ways of doing thing that your family or your circle, your community has done in the past.
Hmm.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It just feels uncomfortable because you're first. You're the
Yeah.
first one to do it. So you're kind of, the person that's going to test it out. And then you'll notice people that are following that trend, or you'll notice that, maybe it's not this, it's that, but
Yep.
you're constantly evolving.
Yep.
And then you'll notice your circle will constantly evolve too.
Yep.
You might have
Yep.
friends that don't and friends that do, but
Hmm.
at the
Hmm.
end of the day, it's you.
Yep. It's all
Kind of
about you.
rhymed and rapped, but
Yeah, there you go. All right. Is that the way we're going to end
that's how
this?
we gonna end this. Drop the mic.
So we thank you for tuning in. Again, drop us a like, follow us.
Hmm.
Any questions or anything you have, be happy to answer them for you. This is our passions. This is what we do. This is what we believe in. I think that's pretty obvious. And if you're not there yet, it's okay.
It's okay. You're
It's
still
okay.
welcome.
Yeah. And it's baby steps. We didn't just jump into
That's
this,
all we did.
it was baby steps, and you can do the same thing. So we
You're welcome.
appreciate you, and
You are significant.
unapologetically
Unapologetically.
significant. So thank you, folks. See you next time.